Welcome back. We're shining a spotlight on the cheating fire chief murder trial with a focus on the moments that secured that guilty verdict against Kevin West. The former battalion chief found guilty of first-degree murder, killing his wife Marcy by strangulation. This was in 2024. West testified in his own defense, explained a way that she had had a massage and she had a seizure, and the jury didn't buy it. We think that perhaps it was his own statements that swayed the jury. So let's talk about this. Here to break it all down, jury consultant and human behavior expert Susan Constantine is with us. Susan, good morning. We have some clips we want to show you, please, and let us know what you think and whether this was perhaps some convincing he didn't want to do. So here's him getting emotional on the stand just minutes after he got up there on direct, talking about his marriage to Marcy.
How was your marriage starting out?
I would race down there just to see her during the academy.
We were very much in love.
Okay.
All right, Susan, what do you think?
Well, first of all, it doesn't answer the question. It takes a little bit for him to actually get there. He doesn't say, he says, you know, did he love his wife? And then he goes on to this little dissertation and a presentation, which they tend to do. When people are lying, they give a lot of buildup. And there is a ratio that we look at, the build up, the story in the end. The fact that he actually had to build it up before he actually said that he loved his wife, but he also spoke about her in present tense. So he should have been speaking about her in past tense. So the fact that he was running down there to go see her, I guess he's using this running as an active movement, right? He's just like, I would go there very quickly. Why was he using quickly? Because he was trying to set a scene. And this is what they do. They set a narrative and they try to bring the viewers or the jury along with them to view it in a certain way. And when you watch his expressions, you'll notice that he only shows sadness down here and not here. And because you can fake it and it's not synchronized. And so when I look at the top versus the bottom, they should synchronize and show all of the action units, the movements that are consistent with sadness. Instead, he's got trying to convince you, you know, the raised eyebrow, convince me what I'm telling you. He's trying to sell his story. And then we see a lot of the oral stuff that's kind of around his mouth. That's all performance. That's not even real. You can see the overplaying of that. That's not how real emotions fleet on and off the face. And there is a duration of an on and on offset to make it believable. So I call, you know, that's phooey.
Yeah, pants on fire. Fire chief's pants on fire, Susan. Yes, I have another clip for you. This was one of my favorite moments here. I have to hand it to defense counsel. This was good. This was good. He got him out of the witness box to do a demonstration and kind of teach the jury, really drawing upon his experience as an EMT. So let's watch.
One arm underneath her shoulders and one arm underneath. And as I brought her out, I brought her to my knee, and then I brought her to the floor. I couldn't support her weight. She was, I couldn't support her and even lift her and then set her down, but I brought her to my knee.
Susan, what'd you see?
Sure, the first thing he comes out of here doesn't say, he says one arm. So if I'm missing one piece of it, he's missing the I pronoun. So that's significant because that actually puts him in the scene, right? So he doesn't put him in the scene until after, then he says he puts his one hand underneath him. The thing is that what he's doing is he is giving you demonstrative visual evidence, so to speak, to showing him what he probably does with any other patient or client, you know, because he's a firefighter if he's got to rescue them. Then after he's all finished, you can see this little pausing and hesitating. He's got these hand shrugs. Hand shrugs are associated with deception. There's this pause, there's this hesitation. So I look at vocal flow. And so when the flow breaks up, when he says, and that's what happened, kind of in that sense, that is always problematic for me. So I've got to look at why did it flow before that and then it doesn't flow. So there is a shift or a change in that baseline. Then he puts his hands in front of him. He takes a deep breath. And so what he's doing is looking at the jury going, wondering if he can read, he's reading them to see if they're buying the story.
Well, that's fascinating, Susan, that he was wondering if they're believing him. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the cross, and the cross, I'll be honest, I wanted more. I wanted more from the cross, but apparently it did the job. Here's him struggling to remember key details from the night in question.
I want to be very clear about the timeline, okay? What time did you and Marcy make love on the 7th?
I don't know what time we made love. It was in the evening between a movie.
Okay, then let's back up. What time did you eat?
In the evening sometime.
Not in the evening.
Events are very easy. Timelines are difficult.
How many movies did you watch?
2 or 3.
And what time between the movies did you make love?
What? 8 o'clock hour?
8 o'clock?
Possibly. 7, 8, somewhere.
Susan, tell us what you're picking up on.
Okay. All right. So first of all, these loss of mental states, we see this very commonly. I don't remember. I don't recall. I think so. I'm not certain, because they don't really want to pigeonhole themselves into it. So this attorney was really good in going back. So this is what we call framing. So you go back and you grab that one frame, because he's saying about the popcorn. So he's actually kind of hanging himself along the way, because he's setting some little timelines, some events that happened. And so what she's doing is she's replaying the tape back, going, okay, fine, I'm going to start here and go from there. And when he does that, that's where he starts to trip up, and he's kind of looking up. He's trying to grasp stuff out of the air. He's flustered. And but again, overall, he's shoulder shrugging. You see a lot of what we call cognitive load when he's trying to sell it. You see all this scrunching up in his forehead is because that's where he's really trying hard. And if you look really close, you can see a bulging vein right here on the one side. So that is a part of when somebody is really trying to force something, really sell something. Their cognition and emotion is on fire, okay? And so when he's thinking really hard, you might see a vein pop out. We see the same thing in Brian Koberg. In fact, I write about just that vein popping in my new book. And so it's there anyway. Yeah. It's a psychophysiological response to high stress or cognitive load when you're lying.
Wow.
Yeah.
As I'm looking at him, Susan, I can't tell, my eyesight's not great, if it's a shadow or if it's like a vein in the forehead too. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, it's right there, and there's also another one right here.
Yes.
But here's where Julie, how you know this is different. You look at him beforehand, then you look at it then. So you look at baseline. If it wasn't there before and all of a sudden appeared, then you can tie it to that stimulus. That's how I do this, okay? And then, his eyes kind of rolling around, he's shrugging, he's uncertain, he's trying to come up with an answer, but he can't do it on the fly. And the reason why he can't is because he can't. So that's why the attorney was taking kind of what we call a cognitive interview. Let's go back, let's replay and start from that point then, and that's where he trips up, because everyone remembers, and this is very common, they remember things in a linear fashion, right? This is what happened, that's what happened next, and so forth. And when they can't do it in a linear fashion, you might see deception.
Oh, wow.
Or
and
when you do see it in a linear fashion, you'll see deception.
yes, and you're telling us we're seeing it here with him, so the jury made the right decision. Susan Constantine, thank you very much for your insight and analysis. Always great to have it here. We'll see you soon.